all. This video is about introduction to the SQL language. So this SQL tutorial series is going to have the basics of SQL. Firstly, what is called SQL? SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It is a programming language designed for managing and manipulating relational databases. It provides a standardized way to interact with databases, allowing users to create, retrieve, update, delete data stored in a structured format. Brief overview of SQL language. As I said, it is a database language. And it is used for RDBMS model. So it is a command interpreter. So SQL it is used by many database management systems such as MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, SQLite, and many others. SQL statement types. In SQL, statements can be broadly categorized into several types based on their purpose and operation it going to perform. So here are some main types of SQL statements. So first one is DDL language statements, data definition language, DML language statements, data manipulation language, DRL language, data retrieval language, data control language, DCL, and lastly transaction control language, DCL. So these are all the primary types of SQL statements, each serving a specific purpose in managing and manipulating relational databases. The uses of these statements depends on the tasks it going to perform, whether it's retrieving the data, defining the structure of database, manipulating the data, or controlling the access and the transactions. The SQL commands are grouped by the category of its SQL statement types. So these commands cover the basic operations involved in managing and manipulating the data in relational database. So the specific syntax and usage of it may vary slightly depending on the type of DBMS usage. So for example, MySQL, PostgreSQL, SQL Server, etc. So they in those database management systems, so these command statements, so the syntax it is going to slightly vary. So, but all the kinds of concept of making the execution of SQL statements are same. So next, working with table structures. So working with table structures in SQL involves creating the tables, modifying their structure, and interacting with the data stored in those tables. So there are various operations related to the table structures, like creating the database schema and altering its structure. These are all the fundamental operations for working with especially the making up of the schema for the database. So before making these table structures, we always have to ensure that there should be a clear understanding of the data model and the business requirements. So first, we will see DDL commands. So first and foremost, SQL statement types. So it is DDL commands. So these are certainly the data definition language commands in SQL, which are used to define, manage, and modify the structure of database objects. So there are some essential DDL commands to know. DDL commands, as I said, it is a data definition language commands that deals with schema creation and modification. So these commands are crucial for defining and managing the structure of the database. All these commands, what it exactly consists, one by one we will go through. So first one is create. Create is used for creating the database objects like table, views, index, etc. Second one, alter. Alter it is meant for making the alterations for the existing database schema and modifying its object structures. And third one is the drop command, which is helpful for deleting the database objects when we are not needing those objects from the database systems. And fourth one, it is a truncate command. Truncate command removes the records permanently from the database system and it is going to keep the schema as it is. And fifth one, it is a rename command. Rename, it is used to make the renaming of the existing database objects. So all these commands, it is having the syntax, and for every command we will see the example next. So SQL create table command. SQL create table statement. Certainly, the create table statement in SQL is used to define a new table in a relational database. The syntax for create table statement is as follows. Create table, table name, open brace, column name, data type, column name to data type, up to so on, some n number of columns along with the data type specification, and close brace, semicolon. So about the syntax, so minimum information required for creating the new table is the table name and the column names definition. So in the create table statement, the table name must be unique, and the column names are specified with separated comma separated list, and data type of the column, it has to specify the type of the data the column can store. So type of data can be numeric, characters, dates, etc. So example for create table statement, it is it is like this. Create table courses. If you want to create the table courses, so the statement is create table courses, open brace, course ID with data type int, course name varchar 50 on close brace, semicolon. So when we are going to execute this statement in the SQL worksheet, the output it is going to display is table created. SQL alter table statement. SQL alter table statement is used for changing the existing structure of the database object. So that is the table in the database. So there are the use cases in the alter table statements with the options of add, modify, and drop. So the syntax is like this. Alter table, table name. If you want to add a new column for the existing database table along with the specification of one data type. So this is one option. Alter table, table name, add new column with the data type. And for if you want to make the changing of the column definition, so we are using the modify keyword in the alter table statement. And if you want to make any kind of column, existing column to drop, so the statement will be alter table, table name, drop column name. So all these kinds of options, what it is available in the alter table statement, it is going to make the addition of new columns, modification of the column definition, and removing of the existing columns from the database schema. So example, so following statements can make the alterations for the existing database schema what we have created before. So for example, the courses, so it is having the columns just course ID and the course name, and we are adding a new column credit hours. So that credit hours it is added with the alter table statement, alter table courses, add course credit hours with the data type int. And next, if you want to modify the courses column name fee, fee with new kind of column definition, so that it is modified with the modify keyword. And alter table courses, we want to drop the column fee, so that it is made with the drop keyword. So all the statements what it is going to have for alter table statement, the output it is going to display is table altered. Next is SQL drop table statement. SQL drop table statement is used to delete the table which is no longer needed from the database system. So that is done using drop table statement. The syntax is as follows. Drop table, table name. So drop table statement removes data and the existing schema for that database table permanently from the database system. So here the database what we are going to delete permanently, so that we have to specify with drop table clause along with the table name. So that table it is no longer existing, but if you are even dropping that one, so that becomes an error, and the database system it is going to issue an error. So example, so this database table emergency contacts we want to drop from the database system. So for that the statement will be drop table emergency contacts with semicolon. The output it is going to display is table dropped. Next one, SQL truncate table command. This truncate table statement it is used for deleting the records from the database table permanently, and it is helpful for fast deleting all the rows from the table, and but the table structure will be going to be retained in the database system. So if you want to make the only the records to delete from the database table permanently, the truncate table command it is going to be used. Syntax it is given as truncate table name. So this syntax it is going to say about the table name, what we are going to make the deletion of the records permanently, but keeping the schema of the database as it is. Example, we want to delete the records from the big table which is existing in the database system. So output for this truncate table command it is going to be displayed as table truncated. And last one, SQL rename table statement. SQL rename table statement it is used to change the existing table name to a new name. So we are specifying a new table name for the existing database table in the database system. Syntax it is given as rename old table name to new table name with semicolon. So this syntax it is going to specify the table name that we want to rename the data after the rename class. So example, so this persons tables what we have before in the database system, we are renaming that persons table to the persons info statement. It is given as rename persons underscore table to persons underscore info. So output it is going to be displayed as table renamed.